Okay, good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss about friend function and virtual function in C++. I'm Razia Fatima from TTWRDC Nizamabad. Today we are going to discuss about friend function and virtual function. So here I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so here you can see friend function and virtual function. So before going for friend function and virtual function, we have to know what is the function. We already used functions in C and C++. What we are doing in functions? We are having a set of statements to solve some problem, and that particular function is called from main. Okay, whatever we are having the calling part of a function in main. Okay, we already know in function we are dividing in three parts. First one is function declaration, function calling, and function definition. So when that function calling line is going to execute in a main function, then the particular function definition part is going to execute. Okay, so here we are going for first one, friend function. So we already know friend function. Friend function is here nothing but as we already know, class is divided into private and public parts. So here in private, you are having private member function and private data members, and as well as public data members and public member functions. So here in private member function of a class cannot be accessed outside that class. So we can't access the private members outside the class. Okay, and here non-member function, which is the member function which are not part of any class, cannot have access to the private data of a class. Private data of a class cannot be accessed by the non-member functions which are outside that particular class. Okay, so there is a solution where two classes can share a particular function. So here what we are doing, we are using a common function which can be shared between two classes. Okay, so a common function can be made friendly with multiple classes, and that function is allowed to access the private data. To access the private data, we are using a common function for multiple classes. Okay, here that common function we are calling it as friend function. Okay, you can see here friend function. Okay, so that function need not to be member of any of these classes. So whatever function we are having, that friend function need not to be member of any class. So we can't consider that function in any of the two classes. Okay, so this is the syntax. We are having class name, and here in class you are using a friend keyword and function prototype. So here data type is return type, then function name, then argument list. Okay, semicolon. Here argument list is nothing. Here you are giving the type because this one is function declaration, right? Function prototyping. So here you are writing the argument type list. Okay, now, so in this way we are going to write. So characteristic of a friend function, what we have to consider, it is not in the scope of the class uh, to which it has been declared as friend. So when we are declaring friend in a class, generally whatever member function we are declaring in a class, the member function scope is within that class only. But in case of friend function, the we are not considering that particular scope of the class. Okay, so it is not in the scope of the class to which it has been declared as friend. So it cannot be called using objects. So we can't call a friend function using a general functions or normal functions. We are calling using objects, but here we are not using any object to call a friend function. It cannot be invoked like normal function without objects. So we are not invoking like normal objects. It cannot access the member names directly. So generally, member functions can directly access the member names. Okay, but here in friend function, what you have to write, you have to use object name, then dot operator, then member name. So if you are using an object in a, if you are passing an object to your friend function, that object dot, then your member name, whatever private member you are using. Okay, it can be declared either in the public or private part of a class without affecting the meaning. So we can use friend function inside a private block also, or inside a public block also. It is don't change the meaning of that particular class. Okay, usually it has the objects as arguments, so we are passing objects as arguments in a friend function. Previously we used to use normal variables in a functions, but here in friend function we are passing objects. Okay, here one program is there. I'm going to explain this program. So here once we will see what is going on here. I will execute this program, then you will understand it clearly. So one second. um, So here I am going for Google. In that I am going for programmist.com. In that I am using a C++ online compiler. So you have to go for C++ online compiler. Here I am going to type my code. So here already some code is there. So I am changing that code here. So what I am doing, hash include IOStream is already there. So I am writing here using namespace std. Okay, so after this what I am doing, uh, so for this one I need two classes, right? So I am declaring those classes here. So first class I am declaring here directly. So here I am taking first class as ABC. Let's take ABC, and one more class I am taking it as class XYZ. Okay, so I am taking here two classes. In XYZ class, again I am having data members, right? So here what data member I am using, int x I am taking. Okay, small letters, int x. Okay, here I am using public specifier. In that public specifier, what I am taking, I am taking here a member function called set value, void set value. It will return void type, that's why I'm giving void set value. Here I am taking the parameter as int I. Okay, here in set value I want to give x is equal to I as a value. Okay, I am using this function or member function to access the private data x. Okay, similarly here I am closing my class xyz. Now I am going to start another class ABC. First line, here you can see in fourth line I declared class ABC, but I didn't give any member functions or data members in that particular class. So I am defining those here. So class ABC, in that I am taking int a data member. In that again I am taking public specifier. Here also I am taking same function, member function, set value int I. Okay, after that here also I am giving that value a is equal to I am giving the value. Okay, after this I am closing this function. So here whatever private data in XYZ cannot be accessed outside, and whatever is the private data in ABC cannot be accessed outside, which means X cannot be accessed outside, here A cannot be accessed outside. Okay, so what I am doing, I am creating a friend function using friend keyword. So I am using friend function. So void, I want to compare two data members here. So void max. I want to find the maximum of data members from two different classes. Okay. So here I have to pass the objects, right? So objects are of the data type class. So here I have to pass two classes. One is XYZ and another one is ABC. Okay. Same line I am using here also for class ABC. Here also I am creating friend function. Same friend function. So friend space void max bracket. Here you can say that the classes is also a data type which are passed as arguments. Here classes I am passing as arguments. So here XYZ comma ABC. Okay. Here I am putting semicolon. Okay. Function declaration is completed. Friend function declaration. Now I want function definition. So I am writing the code here void max. So for this, what I have to write? Definition code, right? So here I am writing XYZ space M, comma ABC space N. So here M and N are both are the variables. Okay. Here of object type. So here I am taking object type variables. As we know, we can't directly use member names here in friend function. So what we have to use? We have to use object name dot operator, then member name. So here, if I want to compare two members X and A, what I have to write? I have to write M dot X and N dot A, and I have to compare. So I am writing an if condition here, where I am writing the condition as if M dot X is greater than or equal to N dot A. Okay. What I have to print here? So I am printing here C out double less than M dot X. I am printing the largest, right? If M is greater, I am printing M dot X if X is greater. Okay. Else, what I have to print? Else C out double less than N dot A. Okay. Now, what I am doing int main. In int main, we have to use those classes, right? So we have to create objects for those classes. So what I am doing here, I am taking ABC class and that I am creating ABC object, small ABC object. Okay. So I want to, in ABC object means that object will access the ABC data members and member function. So member function here you are having set value. So I am going to set value here. ABC dot set value. Okay. When I am putting set value here, that if I am giving here, let us take 10 value I am giving. Okay. After that, next line, what I am doing? Same for capital XYZ class also, I am creating small XYZ object. Okay. In this also, I am giving XYZ some value. XYZ object dot member function set value. Okay. Now I am giving the value as 20 here. Okay. So after this, what I am doing, I have to compare those two, right? So I am going to call this function max function. So what I am doing here, max of in bracket, what I have to do, XYZ comma ABC is there, right? So here also I am putting small XYZ comma ABC. Okay, semicolon. Okay, now this program will be executed. I am going to click on that run and this program is going to execute. What is happening here? We will check first. Execution is starting from int main, right? So first this line will execute. Then after that, next line ABC object is created in ABC dot set value. it is going directly to here. In ABC class, it is going to ABC set value 10. Okay, set value 10 means I will become 10. So here A will become 10. Okay, after that what it is doing, it will come out of that class. Okay, A value will be set to 10. Okay, next XYZ, small XYZ object is created, XY dot set value 20. So here it will go for XYZ class. In that XYZ class, it is go for set value member function. There I value will be set to 20. I is equal to 20. Then X is equal to 20 will be executed. Okay. After that, what it is doing? Max XYZ comma ABC. So max XYZ means it is directly going for this max function. Okay. When we call this function, it will go for max XYZ. In place of M, it is going for XYZ object, and for N it is going for ABC objects. When we give M dot X, which means M dot means object name dot member name, it is going for the X value. So X value is 10, 10 is greater than or is equal to N dot A value is 20. So 10 is greater than or equal to 20, which is false. That's why 10 value won't print. So else part will be executed. The C out value will be N dot A, which is A value, which will be 20. So shall we check? 10 greater than or equal to 20 is false. That's why else part will be executed. 20 will be the output. Once we will run this program, so we will get the output as 20 here. You can see here. So like this, you are going to execute that one. Okay. Now we are going for the next topic, which is virtual function. So here, friend function, this program only I gave here. So you can see here what we are doing. Once again, I will explain this one. So here, what you are doing here, you can see you created a class ABC, class XYZ. In class XYZ, you are creating X in private member, data member, and A as private data member in ABC class. Here, you are having member function set value I. You are setting X is equal to I. Here also, what you are doing? Set value int I, A is equal to I, you are setting. Okay, in both you are declaring friend function. Here what you are passing in friend function, max, you are passing the class names, because classes are also considered as data types. So classes, here you are passing objects. So while declaring, you have to pass classes. Okay, so here you are passing objects. Here XYZ have M object, ABC have N object. Okay, here to access the member names, object name dot member name you have to take. So you are comparing two members X and A. So you have to go for M dot X and N dot A. So you are comparing if M dot X is greater than or equal to N dot A. If M dot X is greater, M dot X value will be printed, which is private data member, and else N dot A value will be printed. Okay, in int main, what you are doing, you are creating object for ABC, and you are set value, you are calling that particular member function. Here also you are you are creating XYZ object, then you are passing that member function value as 20. Okay, so here 10 and 20, max 10 and 20 values, here you are taking objects, you are taking that objects M dot X means 10 is greater than or equal to N dot A is 20. So 10 is greater than or equal to 20 will be false. So in else part will be executed N dot A, which means 20 value will be given as output for this program. Okay, next one. So here you are having virtual function. So before going for virtual function, we have to know the concept of polymorphism. So here in name also you are having poly. Poly means multi. So here polymorphism is referred to the property by which objects belonging to different classes are able to respond to the same message but in a different form. So here when we are passing an object, when we are passing a message to different classes, different object will react differently. Okay, so that is we are calling it as polymorphism. And polymorphism in objects is with we are involving objects without involving their classes. Okay, irrespective of classes, whatever the behavior object we are taking into consideration in polymorphism, we use the pointers to base class to refer to all the derived classes. So what we are doing here in polymorphism, we are using a pointer to base class to access all the derived classes. Here base class is nothing but the parent class and derived class is nothing but the child class. From parent class, the derived class, child class is derived. So whatever the properties are there in base class will be inherit to derived class. Okay. So here when we are putting a pointer to the base class, it refers to all the derived classes. But a base pointer, when it is made to contain the address of a derived class, always executes the functions in the base class. So when we are passing a address of a derived class to a base class, the base class, if a base class we are passing address of a derived class, let us take we are taking a address of derived class and passing it to the base class, the base class will execute the functions in that particular base class only. Okay, the compiler simply ignores the content of the pointer and choose the member function that matches the type of the pointer. So whatever it is doing, when compiler is going to execute, it will ignore whatever content is there in that pointer. It directly go for the member function which will match with that particular pointer type. Okay, so to achieve polymorphism, we are using virtual function. We have to remember. So virtual functions are used to achieve polymorphism. Okay. So here you can see in virtual functions, as we know, in base class and derived class, both are having the same member function. So when we use same function name in both the base class and derived class, a function in the base class derived as virtual using virtual keyword. So we are using virtual keyword in base class. Okay. So and that member function should be same in base class as well as derived class. Okay. When a function is made virtual, C++ determines which function to use at runtime based on the type of the object pointed to by the base pointer. So here what we are doing, whatever when in C++, when we are using this pointer to base class, it will know at runtime which part of that base class has to be executed. We must access the virtual function through use of pointer declared as a pointer to the base class. So if you want to access a virtual function, we have to use the pointer declared in the base class. By using the pointer declared in the base class, whatever that pointer is points to, that by using that we can access the virtual function. Okay, runtime polymorphism is achieved only when a virtual function is accessed through a pointer to the base class. When we are using a pointer to the base class, then we can directly access that base class, then only we can achieve the runtime polymorphism. Okay, so here one program is there. I'm going to execute this program, then you will get to know how you have to execute that one. So here again, I'm going for this one online on compiler. Here what I am doing, um, again I am writing using namespace std. Okay, so here whatever is there in template int main, I am removing that. Okay, here what I am doing, again we are creating a class. So here we are going for base class and derived class. So let us take, I am taking a base class as capital A and I am creating a derived class as class B. Okay, so here in class A, what I am taking, in class A I am having public specifier. In that I am having a function called as void display. Okay, here in this void display function, member function, I am going to print that it is a base class. Okay, so cout double less than, in double quotes I am writing content of base class. Base class. Okay. Because this is the parent class, I am writing content of base class. Okay. Semicolon. Okay. You can also put here endl. Okay. So I'm closing class A here. Now going for the class B, as we told, the derived class is derived from or inherited from class A. Okay. So for uh, that, what you are doing, class B, then colon, here you have to write public A. So here I am taking from public A, class A, I am taking the data. So class B. Here also, what I am doing here also, I am having public specifier. In that public specifier, again, I am having void main, void display. Okay. Display. Okay. Here in void display, you can see out double less than content in, yes, content of derived class. Here also I am putting endl. Okay. So now here both are having the same member function. What we read in second point, that if you base class and derived class both are having the same function name, then the function in the base class is declared as virtual using the keyword virtual. So here the base class member function will become virtual. Okay. So I'm keeping here virtual. After that, what I am doing, I am creating int main. In that, what I am creating first, I am giving a pointer to base class. So A star some B base class, I am giving a base class pointer. Okay. Same here in B class, I am declaring a object for B class as D. D is an object to derived class. Okay. Now what I am doing, B is equal to ampersand A. Base class is having the address of derived class. Okay. Base class is having the address of derived class means base class is pointing to the address of derived class. Okay. Now, when I give this function B points to display, then whatever is there in derived class will be printed. Now I'm going to run this program. Sorry, I missed some bracket here. Okay, here after class B, I have to give semicolon. Okay, now I'm running this one. So you are getting the content of the derived class. So what it is doing in int main, you can see A star B, which means you are creating a pointer to the base class. After that, what you are doing, derived class object you are creating as D. Then what you are doing, base class is pointing to the base class is having the address of the derived class. So here base class will display, which means it is directly going for the derived class. This part of the derived class will be executed. So content of derived class will be the output. Okay. So one more program I want to discuss here. So we are having this program. So one more program, let us take in this program only. I am doing some changes. So here what I am doing, let us take, I am having two objects here. Let us take, I am having A object and B object. Okay. So I am having two objects. Then what I am doing, I am creating a pointer in A object. Let us take A object, A class. I am creating an pointer here, star BPTR, base pointer I am taking. Okay, base pointer I have created. That base pointer, using this base pointer, what I am doing, I am having the address of A class object. So here I am taking A object address here. Okay. Now what I am doing, I want to display the content here. So then what I am doing, BPTR displaying, I am using display function. So what it is doing, member function, it will display the content of the base class. Same again, what I am doing, I am using the same pointer, but this time this pointer is pointing to the address of which pointer it is pointing. It is pointing to the address of, one second, it is having the address of object of B. So ampersand here, B object. Okay. After this, what I am doing here, B pointer will print the display. Whatever the display is there in BPTR will points to display, which means it will display the content of the derived class because it is showing the derived class B class object. Okay, here I am taking semicolon. Okay, return 0. Now I am going to run this one. So it will execute content of a base class and content of a derived class. So here, using a pointer to the base class, we can access the content of a base class as well as content of a derived class. Okay. Here you are having some rules in virtual function. Virtual function must be member of a same class. They cannot be static members. They are accessed by using object pointers, and virtual functions can be friend of other functions. Virtual functions in a base class must be defined even though it may not be used. We cannot have virtual constructors, but we have virtual destructors. Okay, so virtual constructor and virtual destructor, we are going to discuss those in next class. Okay, so you can see here now in PPT, we already discussed these two programs. Okay, so I'm closing the class here. We'll continue in next class.